Okay, this is a dream message. There is now a loud buzzing fly around me. I do have my back door open and dumpsters are not too far, so they do come in. However, the fact that it's loud and buzzing makes me feel like monitoring spirits, which does fit with the dream, okay? After going through the dream with Source, I was called to open my Bible, which I'm not. If you know me, know my work, you know that I don't reference this book very often. When I do, I'm guided to, which tells me that some people that this is for, you may lean more religious than spiritual, and here's a reference point that you can go for your own studies. I am going to pull this reference point more to a spiritual in this reading for everyone else. Also, I have this, which has two decks of cards, and then I have the book on top of it, and then the lid. And in between the book and the lid were cards, four cards. So, foundation, safety, security, protection. These were separate. Not sure really why. So, we'll use these once we get through the dream. Now, there are the entirety of the dream message may not apply to everyone. It feels like there's sectioning, okay? First, for a small group, there is a masculine energy. It was male presenting in my dream that is anxious for you to kind of hurry up. And it could be an aspect of it. It didn't feel nefarious. It didn't come across nefarious in the dream. So they could almost be anxious for you to kind of get through what you're working on so that you can align with them. You may have a 5D connection with them as there's a loud car. You may have a 5D connection with them, and you or they, or maybe both, are kind of anxious for this to come into this 3D reality. Okay. Now, separate from that, there could be a masculine energy that's kind of wanting you to rush through things so that you will make mistakes. When we rush, when we are in a hurry, we are less precise with our steps and what we're doing, and it leaves room for more accidents. It leaves room for more problems. So if you fall on the other side of that, where you're like, no, I felt a rushing and it was not a good rushing, it was not a loving, I just want you to hurry and be here, then keep that in mind, okay? Now, the overarching theme of this dream is past people, because these were people that you had endings with that you removed because of some kind of hurt or betrayal that took place. They are monitoring, as we had the bee, they are monitoring and watching, okay? Now, they are consciously, unconsciously projecting, either because of what's going on in their life or because of what they want to go on in yours. They are projecting over a feeling of being behind, a feeling of needing to rush, not take your time, just hurry through it, needing to, or pushing in this distracted energy, distracting with things that look like fun or appear to be fun, but they're actually harmful. They're not in your benefit, okay? So if you are, and the best thing that I can tell you, if you're feeling any kind of energy around you, is step back out of the energy and take an honest look at your life, okay? Are you feeling like you're behind in your life? Are you feeling like you do need to rush in your life? Are you feeling like you are distracted? You've got a lot of things going on, and distractions going on in your life. If you step back and you're like, no, I don't, 414 on the timer, I don't have any of that. Actually, I'm flowing. I've got a good rhythm going. We pretty calm, peaceful, then you will absolutely know that this is being projected in from a watcher, a monitor, okay? Somebody that is monitoring and watching from the sidelines. Now, whether they are doing it intentionally because they want to cause you hiccups, or whether they're doing it because they themselves now feel like they're behind, feel like they need to rush, feel like they've got too many distractions going on in their life, that's going to be on a personal basis depending on who you've come across in your life, okay? And for some, it may be both. It may be some people that that's how they are in their life, but that's also how they want you to feel in your life so that they aren't alone in that. All right. Now, when I did open this, I closed, pulled my fingers, stop, opened. At the bottom of this is Psalms 107 through 150. And this is the theme of it is thankfulness to God should constantly be on the lips of those whom he has saved. This psalm was written to celebrate the Jews' return from their exile in Babylon. And it's about the top of it says, these psalms praise God's work, recount the blessings of righteous living, thank God for deliverance, and praise God for his a wonderful world. These psalms remind us that the best sacrifice we can offer to God is a faithful and obedient life. Okay. Now, for those that lean towards religion, you can go to Psalms 107 through 150 and do your own studying. For the rest of y'all, this is leaning into when you show obedience to your path and to what your dharmic layout is meant to be. Dharma is following in line with your values, your core beliefs, your path, your destined path. Okay. So when you align with your destined path, when you are in your dharma and you are moving, acting, reacting, pushing out energy that is aligned with what you're supposed to do, you will see those rewards. You will see those miracles playing out in your life. I don't like the word blessed because it's be less, so we don't do that over here anymore. We are not less, we are more. We are extra if we want to be extra, okay? But it's really pointing towards that. It's pointing to, for both sides of this, for you, the person that may feel others' projections coming in, stay focused on your path. Stay focused on moving in a way that is aligned with you, that is aligned with your values, your ethics, your path forward. Make sure that you're not stepping out into somebody else's lane to make something happen. And that's where you're going to get that flow state. That's where you're going to get that state of, no, I'm not overwhelmed. I don't feel rushed. I don't feel behind. I actually feel like I'm right exactly where I'm supposed to be. And for cross watchers, because I know for sure cross watchers look me up, if you are in that place where you are consciously or subconsciously projecting that to somebody else because that's how you feel or that's how you want to disrupt somebody else, if you stop moving in ways that aren't aligned with your path, if you stop moving in ways that aren't aligned with your core values, you wouldn't feel that way anymore. You wouldn't feel behind. You wouldn't feel like you have to rush. You wouldn't feel like you're being pulled and distracted and everything's kind of off balance. There's a notification. $20 was on that notification, so $20 may be significant. You would move out of that. And if genuinely, if you're sitting in that place and you're like, but I don't know what my lane is, I don't know what my destined path is, I'm going to help you out. Okay. If you don't know, start turning everything off. Turn the TV off. You don't have to do it forever, just for a little while. Turn the social media off. Turn the phone off. Turn the friends and family off. Tell them, hey, I've got to take some little bit of time. I'll get back to you. If they're upset about that, there's a big, big sign for you. Okay. Anybody that truly cares about you is going to be okay with you taking you time. And then go and look at you. Spend some time with you. What makes you happy? What makes you thrive? What makes you want to get up and move forward? And if you're like, I don't know, all I see is my trauma, then start working through that. But I promise you, 909, 911 on the timer, if you start with what other people did to you, you're going to stay pretty much in the same place. Start with who you are today. Start unraveling what you do today, your behaviors today, your emotions today, and let that work you backwards to where it may have started. And then you don't get caught in the cycle of blaming others and giving away your power. Well, I'm only like this because this person, and I only do this because of that person. Take accountability for who you are today. Work backwards, and you'll figure out how you got to be who you are today, and you can undo it along the way. You can learn something new. And as you're learning something new, Make it a point every day to do something that you do like to do. And if you don't know what you like to do, try new things, little things. Okay. Um, Now, for these cards, we're going to get into this. It's the Five of Airships. Now, this card in this deck specifically, I know the Five of Swords does not talk about this generally across the board. In this deck specifically, it talks about identity theft. So this is going to be copycat behavior. If people are consciously wanting you to slow down, wanting you to misstep, wanting you to rush through things, wanting you to be distracted, it's because they more than likely, if they're consciously doing it, not subconscious is a whole nother game. But if they're consciously sending that energy to you, directing that to you, oh, I hope that collective XYZs, I hope that collective, if they're doing that, it's likely because they copycat off of your energy and you're moving too fast. You're jumping ahead too fast and they can't keep up. And the more distance you put between you, the original, and the copycat, the easier it is to tell who the original is and who the copycat is, because they can't put things out right on top of yours and then just claim, oh, it's collective. We must be in the same collective mind space. That's why we're putting out very similar or identical things. When there's a lot bigger jump between those two, then people start to connect the dots, okay? Especially if they are embodying you in other ways than just what they put out. If they started looking like you, dressing like you, getting accessories that are like yours, that type of thing, all right? They do that because they have to close the gap so that it's harder to tell who the copycat is. We've got the Tower in reverse, followed by the Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. And what this feels like is somebody may also be, this could be two different, because there were a lot of people in this dream, okay? Not just romantic. There could be romance, family, friends. There was all variety. It was a variety of people, okay? I just saw 12:13 on the timer. It feels like some of these individuals are trying to hold off their own tower and rush into you and try to collaborate with you, try to create a new contract with you. But they can't rush into you and avoid their tower if you keep on jumping ahead, okay? Now timeline jumping, quantum jumping is coming into mind. If you are jumping from one version to the next, and you are just evolving exponentially, they can't rush in and try to create a new contract with you because you're completely different. They have to keep you in a closer range to where they are so that they can try to do that. If they try to rush in to avoid their own towers, to collaborate with you, to try to get your protection maybe to cover them, or to try to get you to kind of shield from some of that, because typically that's what happens. When you bring people back, when you help people that are receiving their just dues, you kind of become a shield and you absorb a lot of their consequences. And I don't say this as learning it from a book or hearing it online. I learned this a lot deeply in my marriage, okay? Every time that I saved him from hitting rock bottom, every time that I jumped in and I helped him rebuild, he didn't get the consequences, which meant that he didn't learn the lesson, and I was getting hit with those consequences as well. All right. This feels very much like closing of a gap. So we're gonna put, or trying to close the gap. All right. What deck do you want? A mugwort may be significant. I don't know what song that is, but if you caught it, moon in reverse, so you can see clearly. And if you're having trouble seeing clearly, remove yourself. Okay, step back. All right. let's see what else the collective needs to know for this. This feels very much like just a be aware of the energy that is orbiting or the energy that is focused on you, okay? Especially if you are not feeling any urgency within your life or overwhelmed with your life or feeling like you're behind or anything like that. Wasps could also be significant in plants. Seven of Wands reversed with this Six of Wands. It feels like they want to remove your boundaries. This is the way that it came out and feels is because the Six of Wands was a little bit sideways. They need to remove one of your wands, which is protection, boundaries, defending, so that they can have victory. They need you to disarm yourself so they can have victory. And those people that are not for you, that have nefarious agendas, they absolutely need other people to put down their boundaries and to not defend themselves, not protect themselves in order for them to get their way and do what they want to do. So make sure that you're not doing that. Again, Tower reverse so they can avoid a tower. Gossip, Five of Swords. Got their gossip may be coming back. Um, okay. So some of these people may have slandered you, collective. They may have said some very outlandish, untruthful things about you. And in order to kind of correct narrative, they've got to get back in good with you. Because if they get back in good with you, then it was, oh, we were just having a fight and, they're fine. It's fine. Um, we all say things we don't mean in fights, that type of thing. But if you're like buddy buddy with them again, then it kind of excuses their behavior in a way. And then maybe people don't tell you what was said. We've got the Emperor at the bottom of the deck and a Fool in reverse. Okay, what else do you have about this source? This is all about self gain. So, although there may be people in the mix that are doing this unconsciously, subconsciously, they're not intending to do this, there are absolutely people that are doing this very aware of what they're doing. Okay, what else does the collective need to know? Ten of Cups reversed. Fell right on top of Seven of Wands reversed. They have to take away your protection and your happily ever after in order for them to have victory. And that's actually kind of sick. That's a very twisted mental place to sit in, to think that the only way that you can succeed in your life is to take away someone else's happiness, take away somebody else's happily ever after, and leave them disarmed in a vulnerable place. Four of Cups. Leave them disarmed in a vulnerable place, in a place of not wanting. Four of Cups is very apathy, ignoring what you have, ignoring what opportunities are there because you're focused on, it looks like milk, spilled milk. Mermaids could be significant. One of these people, collective, or multiple maybe, they want you to go back to a place where you are miserable. Page of Cups. where you're naive and you just give to everybody and accept breadcrumbs. But somebody could also be trying to put you in this upside down energy so that they can come in and be like the savior, the white knight to save the day. White knight may be significant. I usually say knight in shining armor. And this is 4 of swords reversed and 9 of cups in the upright. Collective, you're not stuck. You're not blocked. You've created inner wish fulfillment, inner stability. And somebody's trying to stop that action for personal gain. The only way that people can truly mess up your path, and we're going to wrap it up here. The only way, 3 of cups reversed, the only way, 2 of pentacles juggling, the only way that people can genuinely mess up your path is to get you to mess it up, to get you to self-sabotage. And the easiest, quickest way to do that, especially if they don't have access to you, is to project in a lot of energy. So there is a real need right now, especially um, if you know that you are leveling up, you are making moves. There's a real need to make sure that you stay grounded in who you are, and when energies come in that are not your baseline, stepping back from those and figuring out if those are actually yours, if those align with your life at all, or if those are energies coming in from the outside. Okay? Energy clearing from my throat, but it came up from my stomach. So, willpower and empowerment, self empowerment, standing in who you are. You may need to do some kind of social media, tech detox if you're having a hard time or you're having a lot of energies come in. But before you divert your path, make sure that it's something that is coming from within you, not out there. All right? There's a lot of things shifting right now. There are a lot of narratives that are being exposed, false narratives that are being exposed, people that have been doing of nefarious things being exposed and being seen for who they really are. And the quickest way for those types of people to get back on top is to have you collective do something that shifts those scales back, okay? That makes it look like you are what they've been saying, because then they can point and say, see, I told you. It was just it was just a little, it was just luck. It was an act. It was fake. Okay? The people that move in the shadows nefariously, they are going to try to use this energy shift in their benefit by ramping things up. And don't forget, the full moon, 2323 in the timer, the full moon is either tonight or tomorrow, and I believe it is accompanied with an eclipse. All right? These are big energies that you can absolutely use for your benefit. All right? If you work good with chaos, if you come from a chaotic background, do your thing, because this is a lot of chaos energy that can aid in your propelling forward very fast. Just make sure to be ready for it not to go the way that you expect it to go and for it to be pretty chaotic. But I flipped my entire life around inside of a year using this energy. Not this, because this was back then, but using eclipse energy. All right. If you don't like chaos, if you want your plans to go smoothly, I wouldn't use this energy for that. But remember, with big energy, there are different types of people. Some that will use it to benefit themselves, to help themselves grow and heal and evolve, and those that will use it for destruction of others. All right. Just because you've leveled up, just because you've done the work on yourself, doesn't mean other people are. And the people that haven't will absolutely try to capitalize on powerful energy like this. So make sure that you are ready to maneuver with whatever is to come. Happy healing.